Hi, my name is Syeda Hasnain-Mohammed. I'm the head of communications for King's Health Partners, and I'd like to introduce Professor Prokar Dasgupta, who's our professor of surgery.
Hello, hi.
So we're here today to talk about King's Health Partners Academic Health Sciences Centre and our pioneering academic surgery programme. So I will ask you a few questions, Prokar, if that's okay, starting with if you could tell us a little bit about your background and how you've come to become the Professor of Surgery for KHP's academic surgery.
Syeda, thank you for this exciting opportunity to showcase King's Health Partners Academic Surgery that I lead along with you and your wonderful team. Half my surgical career was spent in India and the other half in the UK. Indeed, I remember before I came over, my main interest was in the immunology of a parasitic disease called leishmaniasis or Kala-azar, which was killing many Indians. And while I was busy removing their very large spleens, we were also trying to see what changed in their blood cells in order to be having those magnificent results. And that helped me develop a healthy attitude towards translational science. I came over to Guy's in 1998 as senior registrar, and then moved into King's College London as professor of robotic surgery and urological innovation. And then last year, during COVID, we established the KHP Surgical Academy, and I'm really privileged to be leading that with a vision from taking things from cradle to grave, i.e., being the best in surgical science and helping the next generation of surgeons.
That's brilliant. And could you tell us a little bit about that program? So what did the landscape look like before? What was it that caused you to want to start the academic surgery program? And what do you think are the real sort of USP points for us in terms of starting that program?
Syeda, we have the most brilliant surgeons across King's Health Partners. But the problem is we have been living in our own subspecialties for too long. The last professor of surgery, Kevin Bernard, retired nearly 20 years ago. And then we have all been doing urology or vascular surgery or plastic surgery. And we live in the same organization and hardly ever speak to each other. I felt that was a tragedy, and we really wanted to harness the best that is in surgical science, education, teaching, research, and trials, not just for our professionals, our students, and the next generation of surgeons who come to train with us. So that is where I come from, and I think we have a very, very exciting future using that as a framework to develop King's Health Partners academic surgery.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I've seen certainly from the communications perspective, I think just the top level of the amazing and comprehensive amount of work you and the team have been doing to sort of promote the benefits for professionals and students. But just to sort of maybe pick out a few of those highlights, what could you give us a few examples of some of the key benefits of the program for both professionals, consultants, and some of the people that you work with, but also aspiring professionals and students?
Yeah. So let's focus on three of those. Firstly, the surgical academic grand rounds, which happen on the last Thursday of every month. This is specialty-wide, but they are kept so general that everyone can benefit from it. So, for example, the first part of it, which is an hour-long program, is about a topic update, say, for example, in urology or MRI in prostate cancer. And then that is followed by a unique visiting professorship called the Bulkley Barry Cooper Professorship, inspired by one of the pioneers in surgery, Margaret Bulkley, otherwise known as Dr. James Barry. And that, as you know, features on our website as a biography of the first person who performed a successful cesarean section. And so this is named after Bulkley Barry and their teacher, Cooper, Ashley Cooper, again, a famous surgeon buried at Guy's. And I think that has been a grand success, not just a grand round, but a grand success. And that allows our students to engage with us. But we also, as a second example, have developed a spiral curriculum. A lot of it is for the benefit of our students, not just through the KCL MBBS 2020, but also showcasing live surgery, for example, using a platform called Proximy, and allowing our students to come into the simulation labs and actually practice hands-on surgery before they become qualified surgeons. So that's the second example. And the third is for the benefit of our young surgical trainees. And these are surgical fellowships that we have developed, along with a postgraduate certificate in clinical innovation and leadership, which we are about to kick off in this autumn.
Those are some really fantastic benefits, and there's something that we will be promoting across our website and at this year's annual conference, which I'll come to talk about in a second, and how people can join and take advantage of those benefits. But just before I do, I mean, you've mentioned some of them there, but a lot of what you do is obviously about the education and the academic benefit for so many people accessing the program, but there's also so much that has been done in terms of the collaboration that the program's facilitated and some of the patient outcomes that we foresee as part of that. Could you talk a little bit about a couple of the innovations that we've been working on?
Yes, we have merged KHP academic surgery with a new department called Surgical and Interventional Engineering, which is part of our School of Biomedical Engineering and Biomedical Sciences at the St. Thomas's campus. It is part of the wider Faculty of Life Sciences and Medicine at King's College London. And by developing that relationship, we have built a wonderful state-of-the-art lab which integrates a cadaveric facility, every possible next generation imaging that you can imagine, hyperspectral imaging, 3D printing, surgical data science, trying to track the movements of robotic surgeons, and actually using that directly to benefit and have an impact on patient outcomes. So we don't want to just do exciting things in the lab. As I've said right from the beginning, I have a mission to try and drive the translational impact on our patients. So that relationship with surgical and interventional engineering and merging the two together, I think has been extremely beneficial, not just for our professionals, but also for our patients. The second example is the relationship with the King's Clinical Trials Unit, or KCTU, and we specialize in something called hybrid trials, whereby for the NHS, we do not just want to do large-scale expensive trials and then find that implementing the finding of that trial becomes very difficult if the outcome was to be really positive. So we bring in clinical outcomes and implementation at the same time, and we have the professor of statistics and the professor of implementation science working together with our trialists and our surgeons to design these beautiful hybrid trials for patient benefit in the NHS.
Yeah, that's truly an inspirational program, I think, and there's going to be a lot of benefit that patients will see as a result of that. And I think it's very much just the tip of the iceberg of what we can and will achieve through this program. I know as part of the fantastic Medlearn series, we've also been asked to talk a little bit about the communications of this program. So I'll just take a moment to explain where I come into all of this. So I head up the communications team at King's Health Partners, and obviously we have been really excited to help promote some of the benefits of academic surgery. For us, it's been so exciting as the first time that we've really brought together surgeons from across, our leading NHS trusts and university in this way. And I think for me, one of the biggest selling points is the fact that the program, it's free, it's helpful. It really goes to our commitment to provide high quality, free surgical education and professional development. And it's a real helpful space that we're trying to create through the communications team, that professionals can continue their learning and development. So to that end, there are a few channels that we've worked on to do that. One is through, the usual things that you might expect, social media and our website. But really what we're trying to do is utilize what I believe is our unique selling point as one of the leading academic health sciences centre. centres to link in with our student societies and channels at King's College London. They have fantastic links through their students and student societies, and a really great bunch of aspiring student surgeons as part of the programme who we are reaching out to and building some really fantastic links with. I think, you know, we've made our programs really worth their while as well. We've always had one eye on, when we're communicating the benefits of our program, what is in it for our students and our aspiring professionals. And so, for example, our monthly surgical grand rounds come with CPD points because they hold so much value in terms of professional development for our aspiring surgeons. So what's next for us? There's a lot still to do. We've got a basic website, which I'm going to bring you through in a second, but we're working on expanding it. We're working on talking a little bit more about our various offers to students, to host more of the virtual simulation videos that you mentioned, Prokar, and also to share more of the sort of innovative digital ways that we're developing to train people, particularly thinking about this sort of I don't want to say post-pandemic world, but thinking about this new world in which we're all doing a lot more in terms of virtual learning, and it's widening accessibility for a lot of the opportunities we're offering to students. So with that, I'll just share my screen and give everybody a very quick show and tell of our website. This is our homepage at King's Health Partners. It's very easy to follow, as you can see. On the top, you have several tabs with the various elements of our work at King's Health Partners. Under the Our Work tab, you will see, if you scroll down, that our academic surgery page has got its own little space here. And if you click on that, if you're interested in the programme, you can find out a lot more about it here on this page. You can find out what it is we're trying to achieve. You can find out about Prokar and his colleagues that are driving forward the programme across King's Health Partners. And you can also find out all of the areas of focus that we've been working on, really broken down into the surgical specialties. There's a lot about our latest research and trials, including the one that you just mentioned, Prokar, and also a little bit of information about upcoming surgical fellowships that we're developing. Watch this space on that, because that's going to be an absolutely fantastic offer. We're developing it really now at the moment, so it's going to be quite exciting, and hopefully we'll be able to share more information in this part of our website very soon. The last thing I want to focus on very quickly is our events and engagement opportunities tile here, which if you come to our website and click into that, you will find a lot more information about our surgical grand rounds, including how to stay tuned and find out when the latest one is. It's usually the last Thursday of every month, and we really encourage everybody who's interested in academic surgery or are interested in developing a career in surgery to sign on and sign up to these events, because they really give you access to some of the leading surgeons in our fields in a way that you just can't get anywhere else. And it's just such a fantastic and open space to hear about the latest innovation. It prompts so much in terms of ideas, friendships and relationships and networks with, you know, leading surgeons. And as I mentioned, it comes with CPD points, which is always great. So I'd encourage you to have a look at this page, join our upcoming grand rounds, and also you can read here about where our professorship came from. As you mentioned, Prokar, we've named it after the fantastic Margaret Bulkley or Dr. James Barry, and one of the leading biographers on their life actually did a guest article for us to really take a look at the background of this fascinating and pioneering surgeon, and you can find more about that here. So do keep posted. If you have a look on our website under the events page, which you'll find on Latest, you can also sign up to this year's annual conference, which is happening on the 7th of October. And we'll have not only a host of amazing speakers, but we'll also have virtual stalls where you can find out more about our academic surgery programme. And for those of you watching on the Medlearn page and viewing this via resources after the 7th of October, a lot of the content that we record at our annual conference will be available on demand for you to watch afterwards. So you can find that on our website as well. So with that, I'll just hand back to you, Prokar, for any finishing or final thoughts that you've got on sort of those who are interested in finding out more or getting in touch with us.
Yeah, this is such an exciting space. I mean, I can, even as I speak, I can feel the excitement, and I I wish all this was available to me as digital surgery when I was growing up myself as a young surgeon. Alas, that was not the case, but look at where we are compared to where we were 20 years ago. I am absolutely buzzing with the thrill of taking KHP academic surgery forward. And I encourage you to look on our website. I encourage you to join us. If you wish to collaborate with us, please email Syeda or I. My email is prokar.dasgupta@kcl.ac.uk. But get in touch through the website, and I really look forward to seeing you all online, or when the time permits, perhaps face to face. Why not become one of our fellows? Why not join one of our grand rounds? See you online.
Great. Thanks so much, Prokar, and thanks to everyone watching. Take care.
Bye-bye.